You can scroll for 6 hours straight, but you cannot focus on your work for 20 minutes. You already noticed this. You call it a discipline problem, but discipline is not what is missing. What is missing is safety. Your brain is not lazy. Your brain is in survival mode. There is a difference. When you sit down to do something important, your nervous system interprets it as a threat. Your heart rate increases. Your thoughts scatter. Your body wants you to run. Therefore, you reach for your phone. Scrolling feels safe. Scrolling requires nothing from you. Work, deep work. Anything that demands sustained attention, it activates your threat response. Your prefrontal cortex shuts down. Your survival brain takes over. You are not avoiding the task because you are weak. You are avoiding it because your body believes. You are under attack. This is not a metaphor. Your nervous system cannot tell the difference between a predator in the wild and an email you are terrified to send. Both trigger the same physiological response: hypervigilance, shallow breathing, the desperate need to escape. Therefore, you cannot concentrate. Your brain is too busy keeping you alive. You call it procrastination. But procrastination is not what you are experiencing. What you're experiencing is dysregulation. Your nervous system has been running in survival mode for so long, it forgot how to switch off. Every notification, every argument replaying in your mind. Every night you stayed awake scrolling until 3 in the morning, it kept you in that state, reactive, scattered, constantly, on edge. Therefore, focus feels impossible, not because you lack discipline, because your brain is still fighting a war that ended years ago. You were never taught this. You were told to work harder, to push through, to stop being so sensitive. But the problem was never your effort. The problem was the operating system. You have been trying to run complex tasks on hardware that is stuck in emergency mode. Therefore, nothing works. Not the morning routine, not the productivity app, not the motivational video you saved last night and will never watch again. The moment you understand this, everything changes. Your focus problem is not a character flaw. Your focus problem is a nervous system issue. You cannot force discipline onto a body that believes it is dying. You cannot demand performance from a brain that is busy scanning for danger. Therefore, the fix is not another system. The fix is regulation. This is what no one tells you. You need to bring your body back online first. You need to signal to your nervous system that the threat is over, that you are safe, that you can finally rest. Only then does your prefrontal cortex reactivate. Only then can you think clearly. Only then does deep work stop feeling like suffocation. You already know what is keeping you stuck. You scroll the moment you wake up. You avoid tasks that matter. You replay every mistake on loop. You eat when you're not hungry. You stay awake when your body is exhausted. You feel chronically behind. These are not random habits. These are symptoms of a system running on fumes. Therefore, the work is not productivity. The work is recalibration. You need light, real light. Sunlight within 30 minutes of waking, not through a window outside. Your circadian rhythm is the foundation of everything. Without it, your cortisol spikes at the wrong time. Without it, your brain never knows when to be alert and when to rest. Therefore, you feel wired and exhausted at the same time. You need sleep. Consistent sleep. Not whenever you collapse. A fixed bedtime that you protect like your future depends on it. Because it does, your brain detoxes during sleep. Without that, your prefrontal cortex cannot function. You are trying to focus with a brain full of waste. You need movement, not punishment. Not a brutal workout to earn your worth. Movement as medicine. A walk, 5 minutes. 1 push-up, if that is all you can manage. Movement increases BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. The chemical that helps you form new neural pathways. The chemical that rebuilds your capacity to learn. Therefore, every small movement is not cosmetic. Every small movement is neurological repair. You need to feed your mind differently. Your brain is always listening. What you scroll through at 2 in the morning becomes your internal dialogue by 9 in the morning. Therefore, the content you consume is not entertainment. The content you consume is programming. Replace the noise with something that teaches you. Replace the outrage with something that builds you. You are not being productive when you endlessly research. You are just postponing the work. There is a difference. The moment you stop looking for permission. The moment you stop waiting for the perfect strategy. The moment you stop searching for someone to tell you, you are finally ready. That is when you cross the starting line. Therefore, the shift is not about trying harder. The shift is about regulating first. You cannot think your way out of a dysregulated nervous system. You cannot discipline your way out of chronic overstimulation. You have to bring your body back to baseline and then build from there. Most people try to force focus onto a system that is still in survival mode. They wonder why it never works. They blame themselves. They call it laziness. But laziness is not what this is. What this is exhaustion. What this is a nervous system that never learned how to feel safe. Therefore, the fix is not another hack. The fix is teaching your body that the emergency is over, that you can put the weapon down, that you can finally breathe. You already know the next step. You have always known. You just kept looking away when you were busy staying small. The moment you stop running from the discomfort of deep work, the moment you stop medicating every difficult emotion with a screen, you take your power back. Therefore, the question is not whether you can focus. The question is whether you are willing to feel safe enough to try. You were never broken, you were just stuck in the wrong mode. Growth mode is still there. It has been waiting. It will always be waiting. The moment you regulate your nervous system, the moment you stop treating your body like the enemy, that is when everything you have been trying to force finally becomes effortless. You stop scrolling for 6 hours, not because you deleted the app, because you no longer need the escape.